recording. Do you
Okay.
have your op.gg? Are you on NA
Yeah,
by the way?
I'm on a yeah.
Okay. What's your in-game name?
I can send the link to you if you want.
Okay. Mm, oh my. Okay. Tang Su. Are you Korean?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. Silver one. Let's see. You talked about some cake game where you're getting pushed. Oh, you're starting to win. That's good. Are you implementing what I was
Yeah.
talking about?
The level one push is like really helpful because
Hmm.
like I noticed that after you auto the minions, it like slow pushes and you can just get free trades off of that, which is really nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly good. Okay, so you're doing well. Um, Let me
My CS
see.
is kind of low, I noticed, but I'm working on that right now.
Okay, that's more mid-game stuff. Did you want me to
Okay.
cover lane or cover mid-game?
I have like specific questions if that works.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. But yeah, you can ask away.
Okay, so I saw your video on the 1v1 how to get the push.
Mhm.
My first question is like, once you do get the push, do you keep pushing, like slow pushing, and trading, or like what should you do after the first and second waves?
After the first and second waves, I always slow push. So in general, after you get the push, you just want to slow push. That's like the general gist of if it's pure 2v. Oh wait, let me share my screen. You're not actually looking at this, are you?
Okay,
Um, Here, let me see. Entire screen, screen one. I don't know what video you're talking about, but I can run through a cake game. Let me see. I can show you how I do it. I do it on Lucian as well. Wait, are you able to see my screen? Are you looking at this?
yeah, I can see it.
Okay. I can show you on like Lucian. I do the same on any champ where I want the push. I do the same thing, but certain champs it's harder to contest. But oh wait, this game I didn't actually get the push. It was about even. But
Uh huh.
what you want to do is shit. I had to find a cake game. Let me see. Did I get the push? I mean, I probably got the push in this game. Oh, this is the game. I'll just pull this up. So you said after you get the push, what do you want to do? Was that your question?
Yeah, do you slow push and then like crash it or?
Yeah, you always slow push. After you guarantee get the push, the only reason why I'm autoing is because this girl is autoing as well, so she's contesting the push. Does that make sense? Like if
Yeah, it
I
makes perfect
if I
sense.
had the push, but then she autos a lot more than me, then now it's pushing into me. So that's why I auto. But once you secure the push, and I know I use this word push so much, but I don't know another word. But once you have wave priority, it's pretty much you're fighting over wave priority. So you want to guarantee wave priority by autoing more. So you always have you pretty much that's pretty much just how I play. I just always have wave priority, and to get wave priority, you one pick a champ that can have wave priority. Like if I pick Zeri here, she can't really have wave priority. If they pick like Zaya and the Zaya can't have wave priority. So you want to one pick a champ that can get wave priority level one, which is like Draven, Kate. So that's step one. And step two is you want to auto the minions to get wave priority. And then once you have wave priority, you just slow push. You don't crash. This is pure 2v2. If jungle's about to gank or a fight is happening in your jungle, like obviously play the map, you crash that wave immediately, then rotate. But in a
Okay,
pure 2v2, you just want to perma slow push.
okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. But this is
Okay,
helpful for any champ that wants to push. This is just how I play bot lane in general. Like even if I'm playing
so
Lucian, I just like slow push.
does that apply to like someone like Ash too?
Yeah, it applies to any time you want to. That's what I do on Ashe as well, and that's like I win lane on Ashe because I'm just
Oh,
slow pushing. Once I get the push, I have more minions. I can fight them with my
okay,
bigger minion wave, and then they can't fight back, and I just perma slow push, and they bleed CS. So that's how I get CS leads as well.
Okay, gotcha. And then like obviously you trade whenever they walk up to CS.
Yeah, you trade, you look for poke. You look for poke. You don't necessarily trade. Trade is like too I get what you're saying. It pretty much trade is too strong of a word. Try to use the word poke. You just want to get
Oh,
free
gotcha.
poke.
Yeah, okay. So like I think I'm like trying to go for unnecessary trades. I think I could
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I think I could work on that.
Okay.
Um
Do you have any other questions?
yeah, so another question is like settings related.
Hmm.
I keep like autoing the ground. I'm not
Oh
sure like
yeah. I
how to get around that.
you there's a setting. What DP, like if you're auto, like I use target champions only. So like if I accidentally, I have a mouse button on my mouse that I hold, and I right click a lot and just hold that button. So even if I randomly click the minion, I don't actually auto it. But that, you don't have to like get that crazy, but that is what I do. But you
Okay.
either want to be more aware of your cursor and where you're clicking, or if you are able to do that, I use target champions only a lot. I have it on
Okay,
a
gotcha.
mouse button, so I just hold the mouse button
Okay.
when I'm right clicking freely, and then obviously I let go when I go to CS.
Okay.
Mm,
Um did you want to review the Ezreal Tom Kench game?
yeah, I could take a look and see what happened. Which
Okay.
one was it?
I can should I stream for you?
Oh, it's this one. No, I see it. Is this you? Seven
Uh
seven two.
7-7,
Okay,
yeah.
I know is like Saber likes first strike. I don't really like first strike Caitlyn, but if you are going first strike, I think you go lethality because my play style is a lot more auto attack based. First strike is more around like headshot and Q and your abilities. It's more lethality, but if you're going crit plus auto attack, so that's why I go lethal tempo. I'm more of an auto
Okay.
attack AD carry.
Yeah.
I don't really like first strike, but if you do go first strike, I would go lethality Caitlyn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't really like first strike, so this is mm, it's okay. We can look at this though.
Okay.
Mm, mm, okay. Let me check. I checked your runes, but the first cashback, biscuits, jack of all trades. Yeah, jack of all trades. I guess is fine. You have lethality stat. You can maybe get it here. D blade is fine. You want to run to bot lane if you're gonna be pushing. This is fine. You can maybe get a cheese off first strike cheese. That's why if I do run first strike, I don't really like it, but I run it on Lucian. I do try to get early cheese. Like you want to hit them with
Uh,
your Q for free, or if I'm playing Lucian, I try to hit them with my
yeah,
W for free.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
mhm. But this is fine. This is good. I don't know. This is the thing about first strike. You don't necessarily win all ins. I know it's like a damage amp, but if you're gonna like this, I say this because you just want to poke them here and get out. I mean, you do technically, if we really analyze who wins this level one, you guys probably do because you have Barry, he has CP. But the
Uh-huh.
play here is pretty much just a Q first strike him and leave. Does that kind of make sense? What is that what you do?
Yeah, because of the runes, I guess.
Hmm. But here we should have. I don't know. This is
I
why
just
we
walked it late, I think.
here. This is what I would do. Sorry, I can try bringing up Epic Pen, but it was like glitching. Let me see if it
Uh-huh.
works. It doesn't come up when I'm running OBS for some reason. Oh wait, here. Okay. You see my Epic Pen, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here, what I would do is because I still want the push as Caitlyn. You still want to be the one pushing. So sitting in this
Hmm.
bush, unless you're about to cheese them all in level one, this actually isn't that good. The moment
Yeah.
you see him right here, the moment you see him right there, you're standing here. You should be standing where Maokai is. The moment you see him walking here, you just Q and then move, hit the minions. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
you stood in this bush for like a little bit too long, and that's why now he gets the push. He gets wave priority. I don't even like. Oh, what is this? This doesn't even look that good because they have minion advantage. I mean, you still have barrier, but this is why lethal tempo is better here. But yeah,
Mhm.
if you're gonna go for some all in like this, I think lethal tempo is better. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was like super troll, honestly. Like
Mhm.
you can't control the support, but you should just know as you get better that like this is like a really troll play to go for. Like
Mhm.
if you are gonna go for it, I'd go now because you waited until he took out these minions, so all these minions can attack you. Like if you are gonna go for this play, I think this play is super troll. And if we are gonna go for this play, I think we'd go for lethal tempo to all in level one. But we waited until we pretty much had no minions and we're fighting in their minions at level one. So that's why lane is
Okay.
suddenly like super weird. It's good you dodged this Q. That would have been really bad if you got hit. But here, Ezreal has TP. It's level one. I would just slow push. I would just last hit. So I'll explain, given whatever the current situation is, I'll explain what I would do and then why I would do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here, that's fine. Okay, you actually got a trade kill. Here he has TP, but I mean, you just got a kill, so you do technically have a recall, and you could recall, but honestly, oh, you have no pot. It's such a weird situation because the level one was so weird, but I would honestly, mm, I think you just stack up a wave. Honestly, he's coming back to lane with like nothing. Oh, he got first blood too, but
Mhm.
honestly, a tier is nothing. It's not like he has combat power. I think you're perfectly fine to freeze a big ass wave. You'll freeze a big wave, and then you can just slow push. Unless you wanted to create a slow push, that's like fine. But I think it's fine because you're only level two to just freeze here. But like we're covering something that doesn't really happen often, so I don't think there's much benefit. But let's like if that makes sense. Like you're never really gonna be in this situation again, so it's better to cover something that actually would happen. Oh,
Okay.
here, okay, that's you got really lucky. But I would just be careful. We just saw him hit level two. We have to. This is like imagine this is Blitzcrank. Are you like? Do you suddenly forget that Blitz can hook you? I think it's because Tom Kench is like not as picked. But you have if they pick Tom Kench, this is something you have to be aware of. His W. That's the number one
Mhm.
thing. Like you probably have the habit down of knowing Nautilus has Q, Blitzcrank has Q. But in this lane against Tom Kench, the number one thing you have to be careful. Obviously, you have to dodge his Q. But the number one thing you have to be careful of is W. If he randomly goes into a bush, you need to suddenly get on high guard that he can just W you. Like this is it's just like matchup. This is more matchup. I think we got caught off guard here, but we have to
Mhm.
be aware that he can W. But otherwise, like okay, they trolled the wave. They should let it slow push into you. I slow push into them, but this is fine. They actually saved your lane super hard. But a lot of mistakes happen in lower elo, so this is super fine. I mean, you
So
missed the
like
whole
another.
wave, but huh?
Yeah. Sorry. Another question would be like, when do you slow push? Like, cause I thought like my thinking was like maybe they should fast push because they're recalled, but when would you slow push? I guess my
I
question would be.
I slow push everything because they bleed CS. I slow push until give or take about 9 minutes. Um,
Mhm.
the only time I ever really hard push is if they 100% reset and I can fully crash a wave. But early game, honestly, if you're making them miss CS, building a huge wave, I think that's better than hard pushing um, one wave to make them miss one wave. Just from what I've learned from playing this game. So I just slow push everything. Here I would not auto. And unless you're thinning it down, this is fine if you're thinning it down, but I would not auto. Good, you're looking for headshot, but that's good that your mind is now thinking headshot, which is good. Now the next step is thinking he can Q. But once you just want to get the habit down of being aware of your headshot, but just be careful about walking up and taking free damage. Does that kind of make sense? But it's good you're thinking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
headshot. But that's good. You traded back. But here, this is good. This is a freeze. This is perfectly fine. The reason why this is fine is because your jungle is top side and their jungle is bot side. So if you were pushed on their side, if you were like right here, Evelyn can come gank you, but this is why it's good to be right here. Does that make sense? So this is good
Yeah, yeah.
positioning. So you want to stay in this position, and to stay in this position is you just only last hit, because if you start autoing more, you're gonna start pushing.
I think I
Uh,
accidentally push here. Or maybe I don't. I don't know.
Good. See, you get free poke. Okay. We could see. Yeah. Like I'm super OCD about my autos because they actually do slowly put make a difference. But
Hmm.
just in the future, be careful about autoing. I don't know why you queue here. I mean, if you're trying to establish a slow push, I actually do this. I don't know if you're doing this, but it's like more advanced. But if you want to get
Hmm.
slow push going, this is actually what you could do. This is what I've done. I don't know if this is what you meant to do, but you break a freeze, you leave two minions, and then you'll start a slow push. I don't know if that's what you meant to do, but that's exactly what is happening. And honestly, this is perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, I think I was just unaware.
Oh, okay. But this is actually
Yeah,
good. So you see how you're slow pushing into him now? This is actually
yeah.
good. You're building a slow push. You're having more minions. Once again, in the Tom matchup, as we're pushing out, we want to be aware of damage that can come back. We want to be aware of the jungle. As we start pushing, we want to be aware of the jungle, and we want to be aware of the things that can kill us. So we want to
Okay.
be aware that this Tom Kench could W on us. But this
Hmm.
is all good. Mm, Okay, last hit.
I think I'm trying
It,
trying to stand behind the minions here.
that's good. Good positioning on Ezreal and Tom Kench. Yeah, that's fine. And it goes back to the Trist Caitlyn video. Like you want a last hit, but if you notice this guy autoing the wave, you want to match autos. Does that make sense? So you still maintain the push. Does that kind of
Okay,
make
gotcha.
sense? Like
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
you want a last hit, but if he starts hitting the shit out of the wave, you want to hit the wave, so you're not just getting pushed in. So that's like kind
Yeah.
of what's going on here. You kind of lost your slow push because he thinned down the wave and you didn't match the thin. But otherwise, this is
Okay.
fine. You still have minions. This is what I'm saying. It's good trap. It's scary, a little scary with Tom Kench. Your Maokai's kind of playing like a total puss. I don't know why this guy AFK. But
Hmm.
like honest, listen, there's nothing you can do about this. But in the future, this Maokai should 100% E this bush, and then you will get vision. If Maokai E's here, you get vision of this guy, and then you just start hitting this guy and you push him out of this bush. But that's more like high rank stuff. But this is exactly why we want to. The moment we see a Tom Kench go in a bush, this is future matchup. You won't run into Tom Kench much, but the moment
Hmm.
you see Tom Kench go in a bush, you want to kind of get on high alert, like this guy is trying to W me from Fog of War. It's a lot to be
Okay.
aware of, but I'm just throwing everything out there in this lane. But yeah, this is pretty much how the matchup goes. The guy's looking to W you, and he'll do it from Fog of War, so you don't see it coming. But here, mm, okay. Honestly,
My
honestly,
top
you played
there.
this trade fine. You played this trade fine. Like Maokai is super low, but you're pretty high HP, so you cut it well. Here, I don't know if I need to explain this, but you don't randomly start pushing because you're effectively 1v2. You're high HP, you can sort of play the game, but you don't randomly start
Hmm.
pushing. Like I play for push, that's baseline how I play, but then I still have to play the game. If I see Maokai this HP, I don't just start pushing. If I see their
Hmm.
jungle sitting in this bush, I don't just start pushing. But baseline I always try to push. But you still want to
So could
play the
you?
game that's in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you freeze here?
Mhm. Wait, are you saying can I pause or can I freeze the wave?
Can you freeze the wave? I mean.
Yeah, you could technically freeze the wave, but whether they contest the freeze, I don't like based like I get what you're asking. No, you can't really freeze because say you tried to freeze and try to hold the wave here, if these two just walk up and start hitting you, there's literally nothing you can do. Like, does that make sense? That's
Okay,
why
gotcha.
you can't freeze. You can try to freeze, but like you honestly can't freeze.
Uh huh.
But I would thin down this wave more. Otherwise, you're gonna have a big wave crashing. See, I'll show you. I would start odd like the moment you see a fat ass wave. This is just in general. You want to start autoing as safely as possible. Obviously, if you're about to die for autoing, don't do it. So kind of use some common sense. But you want to avoid a big wave crashing. So I'd honestly even send a Q through this wave.
Mhm.
and you want to auto thin down the wave because if you thinned it properly, only about like these four minions would crash, which honestly it doesn't make a huge difference. It's only two extra melees, but it is a slightly bigger wave. It's just a good habit to have to thin down the wave. Here, it's a little like we don't know if they recalled. Yeah, that's the thing. I honestly, in future games, I would recall here. This is more higher elo to match this guy's recall because the reason why you recall here is well, Ezreal was pretty so I guess that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, it is sort of a gamble whether they cheese you or not. Because if this
Mhm.
Tom Kench W's on you, you could straight up have to burn barrier and everything. So honestly, I would not. Mm, it depends honestly on how high elo these guys are, because they could bush cheese you because they know you're
Mhm.
solo. But we'll just skip this because that's like rank dependent. I'll focus more on lane fundamentals. Yeah, but otherwise, getting a crash. Obviously, if you get the crash, it's good. You get more items. What do you build? Are you rushing collector?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Honestly, we're not really pushing much in this lane. We're more freezing, which is okay. There are techniques to establish a slow push, which you did by accident, which I actually do. You can leave two minions up on their side when it meets over here. This is like super advanced wave management, I guess. But there are ways in this position to reestablish a slow push, which you did by accident, which but I do it on purpose. Like I do it deliberately. You have to just
Mhm.
know you have to have it in your toolbox. But this is gonna slow push into them. But there's ways to reestablish a slow push so you can get the push on Kate. We're kind of just freezing, which is fine, I guess. Honestly, I've been in freezing positions. It's not the end of the world. Honestly, I
Mhm.
think Kate's scale's fine, but yeah, it's fine. Here, I don't think we have to be super scared. We're scared of Maokai, I guess. Sorry, we're scared of Tom Kench or something. Like,
Mhm.
I would just walk up. Like, this comes more down to champion mastery and like confidence per se in playing the champ. But
Mhm.
I'm not interested in being pushed in by this guy. So I would walk up, ping my Maokai to walk up. But I would do this because I know we can fight. The reason I know we can fight is because we're dead even in gold. And in this matchup, if you're dead even in gold and this guy's TP, I honestly think you can 2v2. The only
Mhm.
thing you have to play around is this dude's W. But if you don't get
Mhm.
W'd by this guy, you can 100% 2v2 these guys. So that's why
Okay.
I would just walk up, ping Maokai to walk up as well because I'd be getting pushed in a couple ways and be like, all right, this shit sucks. Can we just walk up? And then I'd
Uh
ping
huh.
my Maokai, walk up, and then I'd play for push like normally. I don't think we have to
Uh
play
huh.
super scared as long as we play around this guy's W. That's the only spell we have to play around. If we dodge this dude's W, we are 100% golden.
Okay.
But then now we're like completely conceding lane, like hiding back here. I get it, Maokai is hiding back here, but honestly,
Mhm.
if you knew what you're doing a little more, you would stand around here and ping the Maokai to like go in the bush, help you out, eat the bush. Like you have to be more, you have to know how you want to play this lane, and then
Mhm.
you ping your support how you want to play it. And as long as you have a general pretty good idea of how to play the lane, they'll just
Mhm.
listen from playing a lot of solo queue, even with random supports. Um, but here, see, we don't have to play super scared. I would auto these minions. We want to contest this push. You want to
Mhm.
be autoing these minions as much as possible to push. Like
Mhm.
if he's autoing these minions, you want to auto these minions. You see how he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got the
Yeah.
push into you. So to for us to get the push, we want to hit this. We want to do exactly what he's doing.
Okay.
And also, this comes down to positioning. But if you want to auto the minion safely, you need to be aware of this.
Yeah.
You want to. It's a lot of stuff to work on. So honestly, it's like I have a couple students, and so I able to coach them over time. But if we're just doing a
Mhm.
one-time thing, I try to just give you as much information as possible. But like
Yeah.
if you were like a continuous student, I can work on one fundamental at a time, build this. then build this, then build this. But since we're just
Mhm.
you just wanted to do the free stuff, right? Which is fine. Like I just
I
give
think I
you
might actually.
everything.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hmm?
I think I might actually do the coaching in the future.
You can let me know if you want to do it. It is $20 an hour. I used to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
free sessions, but then some people like some guy literally told me he was just kind of using me for the two free sessions. So I was like, all right, I'll just cut it back down to one. But I still do one
Okay.
free session because I like it. But you can let me know if we are doing
Yeah. I'll let
continuous
you know.
coaching. If we are doing continuous coaching, it's easier because I can have you work on say this, then this, then this, then this, then this, and it'll slowly build up. Versus I'm just telling you like everything I can in the moment and then have you
Mhm.
rewatch it later. But yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, that sort of changes things. You can let me know later if you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But here, yeah, play around as W. That's good. We want to play around as W. That's see, the moment he misses W, like you're just golden. You can do whatever you want. 13 seconds. They have no way of getting on you. I also help you with mindset. I'm trying to have you be more confident and comfortable. Honestly, it's more about comfortability on this champion. The moment this guy uses his spell, you have free reign to just do whatever. Does that kind of make sense? Like there's no way
Yeah.
you can die. So as
Mhm.
as like if we do coach more, as we coach more, I'll reiterate this, help you build a certain mentality. This is
Mhm.
why I say this is. Well, it was kind of interesting that guy asked what the benefit of coaching was, and something I thought of. This is
Uh
like
huh.
kind of relevant, but I help you build a certain mentality on how to play the game. It's not like I'm just telling you get the push, but I'm giving you a certain mentality to absolutely own these guys. So that's what
Mhm.
I'm not only giving you fundamentals to own them, but I'm trying to get you in the mindset of I am trying to absolutely gap these guys. So
Mhm.
if this Tom Kent uses W, that means I now have free reign to do whatever I want in this bot lane.
Okay.
Obviously, let's not be super delusional and just like run around like we're Superman. But I'm trying to
Mhm.
get you more in the mindset of playing aggressive because when the wave was in neutral here, when the wave was in neutral, like when the waves met back here, when the wave met back here, this Ezreal was autoing, but you were still like hovering back here. I want you to stand here and match this Ezreal. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to get you in. And it's honestly
Uh.
just over time getting more comfortable with the champ, realizing that you are safe as long as you
Uh
dodge
huh.
this guy's W. I'll give you all the countermeasures. Honestly, I'll hit GM soon, so I hit Master. I hit GM. I peaked 700 LP, so it's not like I'm some noob, but like I do know I mastered this style. I think. I still have some work to do. I didn't completely master it, but like I know the style really well, so I'll give you all the countermeasures. If you want to play for push, you have to be aware of one of two. Honestly, see, this is why if you're a student, I'll focus first on the 2v2, and then over time, once we get this down, there's a couple things you have to be aware of. This is once we get in depth. Here, don't just give
Mhm.
you general idea of what we do. We focus on 2v2. Sorry, I'm like jumping around, but I'm thinking a lot of stuff at once.
That's fine.
We focus on these guys, and
Uh huh.
then we focus on this guy, and then as you get higher elo, you focus on this guy. But I'll help you with all that. But the main point I was making before I got kind of distracted is
Mhm.
I'll help you know how to get the push and then know all the potential countermeasures. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if we did like long term coaching, that's what I would teach you.
Mhm.
Um. So here
I shouldn't push
I
here.
want
I
you to
think.
be pushing a little harder. This is fine to
Yeah.
slow push, honestly. We're at 8 minutes. It's fine to slow push, but I'll give you more advanced stuff later. But we do want to be pushing a little bit harder.
Mhm.
If we see this guy walk up in auto, we want to match him with auto. This is another
Mhm.
thing. I wrote it in the video. I'll write this down for you because this is pretty helpful.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I'm just like putting epic pen everywhere. But here, I'll write this down. It we want to last hit. That's what you're thinking. You just want to last hit, right? For slow
Yeah.
pushing. But if enemy 80 carry starts autoing the wave, you
Uh
auto the
huh.
wave. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, you got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
idea of just last hitting, but if this guy starts autoing this wave, you start autoing the wave. If he autos it once, you auto. You don't have to get as crazy. Use like
Mhm.
general in general, but in like if you want me to be exact, if he autos twice, you auto twice. If he autos 3 times, you auto 3 times. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but shouldn't you auto a little bit more than him to slow push?
No, you already have the slow push. If
Oh,
you
because I
have
have more minions.
you have
Or
more if you like you didn't really auto, so that's why it got messed up. But if you're on this
mhm.
side and you have slightly if he has like 2 or 3 minions, it'll slowly slow push into out. Does that make sense? Like that's just a core fundamental of wave management. I'll write this
Could you?
down.
Okay.
4 minions, which you know probably is a freeze, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anything less than 4, if you're on this side, so 3 or less, over time it will naturally push into them. If you have 1 minion on this side, it'll push faster because only 1 minion had to die. But if there's 3 minions here, all those 3 have to die, which makes it take longer before it pushes out. But general idea, I know I don't want to confuse you. 4 minions freeze, 3 minions or less slow push.
Okay, and it has to be near the tower, right?
It has to be give or take. Just remember this line right here. This wall. Remember this line if you're over here.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're over here, it might slightly slow push, but like just give or take, remember right here, okay? If you're on your side.
Okay.
And let me see. So the reason why it's not slow pushing is because this guy autoed and you didn't auto. So that's
Mhm.
kind of why. Okay. So here, it's gonna slow push out. It's gonna take a while, but it will just not mathematically, but just how game physics work. It will slow push out.
Uh-huh.
Because 2 minions, 3 minions, you have more minions, it's pushing. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So here
Uh,
we just naturally last hit. The moment we
okay,
have a
because
slope,
there's three or less.
because they're 3 or less.
Yeah.
But since he's thinning down the wave, you want to match his autos. That's like,
Okay.
I'll explain the base concept. So it's good if like we do continuous coaching because I can add on stuff. So I can
Mhm.
start from the beginning. But the base concept is last hit minions. Next step is if they auto minions, you auto minions. Does that make sense? So now I'm adding on layers, but I'll keep it basic. I'll keep it basic till you get the general idea of you just want to last hit slow push. Once you get that down, I'll add in extra concepts of like if he autos a minion, you auto a minion. Otherwise, if he does not auto a minion, you do not auto a minion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I shouldn't auto if they don't auto?
Yes, exactly. If they don't auto,
Okay.
you don't auto. This is
And
if you have the slow push. Okay?
if I have the slow push already, right?
If you have the slow push already, don't auto. If he this is like I say this to get you to really get the point, but if he autos once, you auto once. If he autos twice, you auto twice. If he autos 3 times, you auto 3 times. Like you get like boom, 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 boom. But if he
Okay.
doesn't auto at all, if he doesn't auto at all, and you have the slow push, you don't auto. So you just match autos. Like he doesn't auto, you don't auto. He autos, you
Okay.
auto. He autos twice, you auto twice. That's like the general idea, okay?
Okay.
Like
But
I know it might be like a lot to digest, but honestly, once you get this down, it's gonna be so much easier.
okay, so but generally you should always try to get the slow push, correct?
Yes, you should always try to get the slow push. And
Okay.
here, the reason why we didn't get the slow push this game is one, we went for this weird cheese. Honestly, I think
Mhm.
I already covered this, but we want to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Q him and run. And then two, why we didn't get the push is we didn't match him with autos when the wave was in the middle.
Yeah. Mhm.
So when the wave was here, he walked up, autoed. You kind of were playing around Mount Kai, playing a little scared. I want you to be more confident and match this guy later, okay? Even if you die, you'll learn from it. There's only one way you die. If this guy W's you in the 2v2, I don't want to get too complicated. I want you to focus on the 2v2, but we have to focus on this guy later. But there's only one way you die in the 2v2. It's if this
Okay.
guy W's you. So, like, I don't want you to be super scared. You just have to play around the Tom Kench W.
Okay.
But that's why we didn't get the push. And also, we don't really. know the fundamental of auto match autos,
Mhm.
but okay. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. We're kind of taking this. I mean, you brought it up before, but you want to stand behind minions. This is fine. We want to push, but you see, just I'm throwing so much information at you, but I'm just watching. I would really watch this VOD and then slow it down, play it back, digest everything. But I'll write
Mhm.
down the key takeaways, what to practice. Because
Okay.
if you are gonna like if you want to do continuous sessions, it is $20 an hour. I do say that, but I'll
Mhm.
send you stuff to practice, and then I'll watch what you did, what you practice, and then give you tips, and then we'll practice different things until you have it mastered. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so practice. Go in the practice tool. Honestly, I don't know if you like doing this, but it's actually
Mhm.
helpful. Practice hitting minions twice, then slow. Just practice getting a slow push.
Mhm.
Identifying that once I'm writing this in the Discord. Identifying that once you have more minions, all you have to do is last hit. This is the first fundamental I want you to get down.
Mhm.
Identifying that once you have more minions, all you have to do is last hit. It gets slightly more complicated in that if enemy AD carry hits wave once, you hit wave once.
Mhm.
We went over this super in depth, but this is like core fundamental to how I play bot lane and wave management. But practice getting a slow push down, just knowing what a slow push is. This is like you're not gonna. It's like trying to know calculus, but you don't even know addition. I want you to learn addition, so I want you to just know at the very least what a slow push is. When you're
Mhm.
in game, you might be able to know it like, yeah, it's when I push out. But I want you in game be able in even if it's practice tool or in game, you just last hit. You have more minions than them, and then you just last hit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I wanted to go over, so you said to establish a slow push from the first wave, you want to auto
Yeah.
each melee minions twice, right?
Yeah, see, this is why I said this lane wasn't like super great to cover because that's not even what
Mhm.
happened. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying? But yeah, that's what you want to do.
Do you auto every like all the melee minions twice, or just one of them to slow push?
You only send out two autos total. Assuming this guy isn't here, I would have to
Hmm.
like show you
Assuming he's not
this.
here.
Assuming this guy isn't here.
Hmm.
Here, I'll bring up my video.
Okay.
Um, you still see this, right?
Yeah.
But I use the same fundamental. You send out two autos. Assuming the
Hmm.
guy's not here, you want to. Oh my god, what is going on? You want to auto twice. Oh wait, I'm watching the wrong video. Oh my god, sorry.
That's fine.
Um, you want to auto twice. That's all you have to do. You just have to send out two autos. This is the
Okay.
most basic. You send out two autos, and if you are in practice tool and you send out two autos and then just let things play out, the wave would push into them. Does that make sense? Do you want? I'll go through it like elementary style, so we can really get this concept down because you need to know this concept to. And honestly, it's not that hard, but auto twice, and then does that kind of make sense? It's gonna push into them.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you have that concept down, which I sent you in Discord, practice getting a slow push, identifying that once you have more minions, or here I'll write down everything. Once you
Okay.
have more minions, or your minions have more HP. So that's why we're able to have the slow push. We either have more minions, or our minions quite literally just have more HP. So over time, you will kill their minions faster. So that's why I auto it twice, so that our minions have more HP. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you see it in real time. I start a slow push, and then step two, I told you, if enemy AD carry hits wave, you hit wave. So the moment this guy starts hitting wave, I hit wave. and I even send my Q out because I want to guarantee 100% I get the push.
Uh
But
huh.
if he hits wave, I hit wave. So if we go back to this example, well, not this one, but like when once waves met back in the middle. Oh shit, I don't know where it was. But like, remember we were talking about when waves were in the middle. This Ezreal starts hitting the wave. You were just like trying to hold a freeze or something, not autoing anything.
Mhm.
We want to make sure that if this guy hits, we hit, so that we're
Mhm.
constantly pushing into them. Just get this down. You might die to jungle ganks, but we want to at least be pushing into them rather than getting pushed in. Once you consistently get the push 2v2 and get this down, I'll show you how not to die to jungle ganks, but that's later on.
Mhm.
Right now, we want to make sure if you're my student, so now I can like work on things like this is more of a long term thing, not super long. I'm
Mhm.
not saying you have to book so many sessions, but like we want if you are my student, we want to get the 2v2 down, always pushing, and then later on I can show you because if you're always pushing, you're I don't want if you're always pushing, always on their side. This is what you ideally want. If it was 2v2, you want to always be pushing, always be hitting this tower, always have him low under tower. That's what you ideally want to do. So I'm showing you in 2v2 how do we always get the push and how do we always make this guy go under tower,
Mhm.
and then later on, I'll show you because it's still a game of 5v5. I'll show you how to ward for jungle ganks and how to ward for mid roams. But
Okay.
we don't work on that till way later on. We if you want to continue, like if you like this and you want to learn my style, I'd be grateful teaching you. I mean,
Mhm.
I do kind of charge $20 an hour because I think this is like super knowledgeable stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is my style. I push in waves, keep them under tower perma, and then
Mhm.
I play around jungle. I play around mid. But if you
Okay.
were to be my student, my protege, I would start with making sure basics. We understand how to get the push. Once we consistently understand how to get the push, I show you how to poke them under tower. Even if we die to jungle ganks, it's perfectly fine if we're dying to jungle ganks. I want to make sure you're always pushing this guy in. I don't know if you watched my video, but I even showed me dying to jungle ganks. It's perfectly fine. Honestly, it's not. I should not die to the jungle ganks. But if you get a solid 2v2 lead, even if you die to a jungle gank, you're still winning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what I would teach you. That's why I try to teach you. I mean, this was more of like a mindset session. I answered some questions. Honestly, I think I had to shift your mindset a bit into we want to be slow pushing, we want to be pressuring this guy under tower, and then once we get in that mindset, okay, we're gonna pressure these guys really hard under tower. Don't worry about this guy. I'll help you later. Don't worry
Mhm.
about this guy. I'll help you later. We want to pressure these guys hard 2v2. Okay,
Mhm.
how do we pressure them hard 2v2? We need to know the basics. How do we get a slow push? How do we
Mhm.
maintain a slow push? Well, that's why I showed you. You want more minions. You want more minions, and then you want more minions, and then you want to match this guy's auto, so you always have the slow push. But if you don't even know how to get a slow push, which is fine, that's why I'm trying to teach you.
Mhm.
Like you're not going to be able to pressure him under tower. You want to be able to consistently just know how to get a slow push. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
do you, yeah. So that's yeah. But that's why I
Okay.
teach you.
Okay.
Uh, and then here we can watch your gameplay. I do you kind of know how to get a slow push now?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
I
think I like 90% understand it.
okay, you just need to practice yourself. Honestly, even practice and practice tool, just having the discipline to just last hit, knowing wave management. Um, okay, yeah, but we could look what you did. Okay, here we're playing scared. As we get more comfortable, I want you to take more control in this lane. Ping this Maokai to come back bot. He's sitting in this bush. We can't walk up because of Tom Kench. So as you get more comfortable, I honestly think a live game would be helpful. I'll just tell you how to ping this Maokai. But we
Mhm.
want to walk up and start hitting the wave when it meets in the middle. But we still need Maokai. But this dude's sitting in Tribush randomly. Tom Kench knows what's up. He's coming back to lane. So we
I
want to
think I was
ping Maokai
yeah.
to come help us. Okay?
Okay. I think I was
Like,
scared here because like my Maokai wasn't near me.
well, exactly. It's
Yeah.
fine to be scared in this situation. Don't be scared if Maokai is literally sitting. If Maokai's sitting literally right next to you, don't be
Don't be
scared.
scared.
But that's what I'm trying to get at.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
if Maokai is over here, it's fine to be a little scared. But I want you to ping this Maokai to come help you, okay?
Mhm.
So here, ideally, we want to establish the push, same fundamental, auto this twice. If he starts autoing, you start autoing. If he starts autoing, you start autoing. But you walk up, hit this minion twice. One,
Mhm.
two. Same fundamental every time. Hit the minion twice. One, two. But then if he starts pushing back into you, you start pushing back into him. It gets a little
Okay.
more complicated, but it's at essence the most basic fundamental. I'll say it again just so we get this across. Same fundamental. When the wave meets in the middle, auto twice, you'll naturally push into them. That's just how the
Mhm.
game works. But
Mhm.
if he autos, you have to auto. Does that make sense? You want to
Yeah.
always be pushing into him.
Okay.
Don't worry about, oh shit, I'm pushed into them. We might die to jungle. I'll help you with that later. If you do want to continue with me, I will help you with that later. I want to see you always pushing this guy in, always hitting this guy's tower. And then later on, if this jungle ganks you, I'll show you how to avoid the gank. But I want to
Okay.
make sure you're always pushing this guy in.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll help you with that later if you want to continue.
Okay.
Um, Here, once again, I want us to get a little bit more comfortable on Caitlyn. I ping this Maokai to walk up. This dude's super AFK. It's still a 2v2 lane. You need to make sure you're on par with this guy, like synergy wise. So
Mhm.
your plan as Caitlyn is I want to push. I can't push 1v2. I need this guy. I need a 2v2. So I want to ping this guy to walk up and help me establish a push. At least stand there and be some threat, some body. He's literally standing here AFK. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But over
What if
time,
like he
hmm,
doesn't cooperate?
that will happen. That's happened to me. Honestly, it's not like this guy is still his own human being. Honestly,
Mhm.
as long as you're not super annoying, he'll listen. But if he decides to just sit AFK, which has happened to me, I've honestly gone like you just have to play back. It's literally all you have to do. You can try
Okay.
to 1v2, but like I've been personal experience, been through this. That's why I call it you're just 1v2ing the lane. You just have to play back. But like over time, as you see, like your supports will cooperate. This guy is sitting here. He's not sitting here AFK. We're both hitting this wave. Like, does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you could run into, I'll cover everything. You could run into a situation where you ping help. He decides to sit back here. There's literally nothing you can do. You just have to sit back here. It's just how the game works. If this guy opts to play that way, you just are kind of forced to play that way.
Okay.
But yeah, that
So
is what
this
you have to
one.
do.
Okay. I guess this one situation where you wouldn't like exactly slow push, right?
What do you mean? Sorry, what?
Like if it's a 1v2, you wouldn't slow push, right?
No. If it's a 1v2, you just want to farm safely. I don't want to get too advanced with you. I just want to get the basics down. But
Mhm.
are you saying like if your support roams or something? If your support roams and you're just stuck in lane 1v2,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
you want to just farm safely, make sure you don't get dove and die.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's all you have to really do. Obviously, you can do more advanced stuff, and I can give you like extra tips to do a little more. But I want to make sure baseline fundamental habits, you're doing the right thing. So support
Okay.
leaves, we're not dying, we're just catching the wave.
Okay.
Later
Gotcha.
on, I can show you like maybe you can thin down the wave a little bit, walk up, thin down the wave, so it's not a huge crash, but like just adds essence. Just yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. We're kind of just perma pushed in. Not as bad as I thought. I thought you guys would be like losing, like from your comment, I thought you guys would be losing tower plates, getting queued under tower. But
Mhm.
this is not as bad as I thought. But you kind of see the reason why we're not getting any of these pushes. It's because one, we're not working with our support, and two, we're not walking up. We have to
Mhm.
work with our support. We have to know what we're doing, and then that's just why we're in this situation. But over time, if I keep explaining it to you and you keep practicing it, you will get much better at this. And then instead of you being right here, you will be the one on this side pressuring them, and that just honestly feels so much better. You don't want to be stuck under your tower getting autoed on repeat. You want to do that to them. Like it's
Okay.
just so much nicer. But over time, if you practice, learn the things I tell you, you'll be able to do that to them.
Okay.
So, let me see. Okay, this is good. This is all good. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we want to thin down the wave. This is fine. Honestly, today was more of like explaining fundamentals and trying to shape your mindset, but I still answered some other questions. But yeah, I
Mhm.
had to explain the basics of slow push in here and how to actually establish it. And then I
Mhm.
want you to practice that. And then see this is like the benefit. This is not even me trying to like say coaching is good, but like this is the benefit of coaching. I send you to practice something, then the next session I can watch what you practice and we can review it. Like if I just
Okay.
send you off to practice something and then we never coach again, like you get absolutely no benefit from that. But if you're like a continuous student, I can have you practice this, watch what you practice, then we improve on that. Does that make sense? So I guess that's the benefit of coaching.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, here we want to be aware. Honestly, I play for lane a lot, so I ping my support. I get he's like doing this, but you want to be aware of your support. Honestly, I'm throwing out a bunch of information out there, so you can watch this video because I'm throwing out a bunch of information. But
Mhm.
I want to make sure you're practicing this. This is all I want you to remember. The thing I sent you in Discord, practice that, and then like I'm sending out so much information, I don't want to like information overload you. Just still
Mhm.
remember to practice what I told you.
Okay.
But I'll cover like all the stuff as I see it.
Mhm.
Here, good. Hopefully we go on this girl. Uh, okay, that's a little bit of a Kate thing. I can cover this, but here, what we want to do, we see her rooted. We see her
I should
rooted.
trap.
You should trap. Have you seen my
Yeah.
video where I said if someone CC'd, you just trap?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So like we want to get in habit of that. I don't
Mhm.
want to I still want to leave this as like I'll bold it so it's most important, but if someone is trapped, oh sorry. If someone is CC'd, trap them. I just
Okay.
put that down, but like we're not in the habit of it yet. Because if we
Mhm.
trap here, if we trap him here, he's just dead. I don't really have to run through it, but he makes it so you can hit your Q. He's just dead. And then on the
Mhm.
reverse, it's like super bad if we die here. So it's fine per se to miss out on kills, but we really want to make sure we're not, at least not dying. But
Mhm.
this is like covering other stuff. Yeah, this really isn't on you. This is just like a random fight. But if we're a little better with the Kate or a little more comfortable with the Kate,
Mhm.
we will be able to. This fight would look a lot different. We one would have gotten a kill, and two we
Okay.
wouldn't have died. So key takeaway there is if someone is CC, trap them. Do I have to write on Caitlyn? I'll write it on,
Okay.
Caitlyn. That's key takeaway from there. Da, da, da. Here, here we're just back into lane. Look at these items. I didn't even notice this till now, but just look at these. Look at these items like collector versus Sheen tier D blade. If you
I
hit
should destroy
tab,
him.
huh?
I should destroy him, right?
Yeah, you should absolutely clap this guy. Like if you
Yeah.
hit tab and saw this, I want you to instinctually just know, okay, it's time to just pressure this guy super hard. We want to make sure he doesn't recall. We want to keep him in this lane state. And do you know how we keep him in this lane state?
Slow push.
No. Okay. See, There's certain times where we slow push, certain times where we go super on the offensive, and this comes down to just situation based. We see this guy's items. I'm giving you like a mentality on ADC, but we see this guy's items. We see we have collector. We see he has Sheen, D Blade, tier. We just know we're in such a winning position. We should insta clear this wave, and
Mhm.
then just start looking to fight. Looking to fight.
Okay.
Insta clear this wave, and then we should be standing here looking to 2v2 them, keep them interested until the next wave. And once again, I'm just kind of going through it. You can rewatch what I say later. I am recording. Well, let me just make
Mhm.
sure I'm recording. This would be so tragic if I'm not recording. But I think I am
Okay.
recording, so don't worry. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
recording. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Uh, but anyways, you see how favor. I want you to push leads, obviously without dying. But like this is so free. This guy should not be able to recall here. We should pressure super hard. But if he does recall, here it goes back to this. I want you to know it's like kind of killer instinct per se. But I want you to know when to pounce on the guys. Here, I'll go over this game. Let me see how to pressure lead in a 2v2. Let me see. Wait, it's towards the end. But here, the moment I saw their low, I think I talked about this. I don't know if you watched this video, but this is the
Mhm.
exact same situation. These two want to recall, right?
Mhm.
Because they're low. This
Mhm.
as real. This is same situation. This oh shit. Where is it? Wait, where is League of Legends? Oh no. Wait. Wait, why is it not pulling up? Dude, I have so many tabs open now. Okay, sorry.
Fine.
You saw the Zaya and the Ari wanted to recall, right?
Uh huh.
The Zaya Ari wanted to recall. The Ezreal Tom Kench want to recall. I want you to just identify this and just start pressuring. And it's not like we're just blindly pressuring. The reason why we're pressuring is because we have Collector. He has Sheen, Tear of the Goddess, D Blade. The reason why I'm pressuring here is because they're super low. So we want to stop them from recalling and keep them in this lane state. So that's why I immediately started hard shoving. I covered this in the video to keep them in this lane state. So to keep them in this lane state, this is more advanced. You don't have to worry too much about this, but it's just something I noticed as we're coaching. We
Mhm.
want to we want to keep them in this lane state. But if they recall, which is fine, I'll start with the basics, and then over time you'll be able to identify this stuff, and then hopefully play more aggressive, get more kills. Just be in a like a more fun position. Honestly, it's more fun to be pressuring than be stuck under tower.
Yeah.
Um, so I want you to identify this later yourself. But this is good that we hard crashed. This is good. Honestly, some people just send ult for first strike. I honestly don't really recommend first strike. You could do it if you want, but I don't
Mhm.
super recommend it. Um, I know I'm not. I know my rank isn't quite there yet, but like I've played versus Saber. He's okay. I don't super recommend first strike, so it's not like I'm some D1 player talking. I'll raise up my rank so it might seem more legit. But anyways, if you're coaching with me, I do prefer Lethal Tempo and Caitlyn.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, this video is kind of covering a lot. I don't want to overload you with information, so I'm just gonna probably stop this VOD. But I covered
Okay.
a shit ton of stuff. And I gave you today was more of how to slow push 101 and more of a mentality shift, I think. So
Mhm.
that's what you would get from me if you were coach. I hit master today, but hopefully I'm
Oh
GM
wow.
soon. But that's what you would get from me if we were coaching. I would teach you how to win lane as honestly as hard as possible. I just try to win as hard as possible, and then I'll teach you countermeasures to avoid ganks. But then, as you saw in the video, I don't know if you watched it. Even if you do get ganked, if you have solid lane leads, and you don't have to win super hard. I'm not teaching. I'm not saying you have to suddenly do this. Over time, you'll start to develop habits that will let you win lane. If that makes sense. I'm not asking you to be me, but what I'm saying is if you get the slow push here, if you in your games are constantly being the one with the push, you'll just naturally be winning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm just trying to teach you how to get the push. And
Okay,
then later on I'll teach you how to dodge jungle ganks, but that's like later on. I'm at the very least I need you to understand how to get the push.
okay, gotcha.
But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. If you here, I'll stop the recording and then we can talk about the other stuff. But I'll upload this to YouTube.